Okay, so we're going to continue with the session that we were doing yesterday. No, I didn't do anything in the evening. I didn't spend time on this. I did my own questioning off camera via the pendulum for just 2 3 minutes, but nothing more. So we will continue with this reading. There are lots of revelations actually that have happened off camera. I remember now there was in school Varsha, Divya, and Simal and Payal. Amongst them, somebody had a huge fight with the other girl. It's normal. I said Varsha and I have as sisters fought, but we become friends after an hour's time. So it is okay you fight in school also because you if you're a close group of friends or you hang around a lot more, then you can fight. But in that, two of them ganged up against a third. And I don't know who is it who threatened to send her friend to jail, to put in a police complaint against that person and send that person to jail. Was it Simmal and Barsha who ganged up together, or Payal and Barsha who ganged up together, and was Divya at the receiving end? Or was it Divya and Barsha who ganged up together and threatened to send Simmal to jail? I don't think Payal Sanin was actually part of that fight. Yet Payal Sanin has been called out to be a victim and not a villain. Simal has been called out to have been cloned and no more in her body, just like her cousin Malvika Lekraj, Malu, who did have a tumor and who had become like a vegetable for 1 year. But then she came back. That is after Sanjeev when she had gone to America. Which year I don't know, but he mentioned that they had, kind of gone for a holiday to America and, to save costs, they had shared the room, two single beds. It was something to do with when I went to China and, when we reached China on the honeymoon, there were two single beds and I had, thrown a ruckus. And I said, what is this? It's, what is it all about? Um, so perhaps in that connection, it was not just out of the ordinary. There was some reference to context. Yet I get that 11 people did shapeshift in that 5 month sham. Can't call it a marriage. SRL is the person hired by Jaitley for his work. Jaitley has shapeshifted for, I think, Ramesh Advani at some point in time and Kani Advani too over the years. Jaitley's rear door entry into our home is primarily today shapeshifting for Mr. Modi. Jaitley's height is a little less than 5'7", in and around 5'7". It is only Jayalalitha who has genuinely passed away. There are many people here who were declared dead who are still alive. Shapeshifting. In the Indian Parliament as Mr. Modi, the real Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi is no more. He's genuinely pro-India. Okay, I have to put it out. It is necessary. One thing in my school, they used to always say, all is fair in love and war. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Now, in school only, if this is the kind of stuff that is happening, then I don't know if we actually have some children who don't even have a normal growth. Do they become instruments, weapons for something else within the school itself? I don't know. How does it translate when they grow up? I have no clue. Divya Bhargava, whose mother ideated the concept of going to Australia and studying and doing an MBA, is the one who helped me with my essay writing, and for that I'm, very obliged. But at the same time, Divya had told me about you should watch your words, what you say. Others were talking about double meanings. But Divya very categorically, face to face with me, has mentioned this. I cannot remember when. That means she knew what AI was doing and what it was recording, what reels it was recording. She can only know about it because of Jaitley, no other reason. They're all part of the same group and the same kind of working, the same kind of understanding between themselves. It's not my kind of thinking. The other thing that I thought about Divya, Bhargava, the Nepensi Road, Darya Mahal, where she was living, at the beginning of that place where there's Chandralok and Ramba, there's a guy called Dempo. He has his business, they're big in Goa, where Parikar was always winning it. In that building, I have a feeling was Divya's boyfriend, who she did get married to. But they almost immediately sold that property and moved to Vashi, which had yet to develop, and bought a big bungalow there. But the understanding is when this couple gets married, she will not stay with her in laws, she will move abroad. And she had studied to do her dentistry from D.Y. Patil. That is in and around that Vashi area itself. Divya stayed abroad for the longest time after she married that boy and then returned to India for 2 years. Either she was living in Singapore or America, but she returned from that place, spent some time in India. Varsha did regroup with her. I'm just saying, why did they need to chase mother and daughter and get rid of Kiran uncle? They could have cloned Varsha almost immediately. Why do you need to grab the daughter and the mother team? Which means my sister Varsha and my mom Anita. Why do you need to get rid of the two of them in 2009, where Mr. Kiran Merchant becomes a late Mr. Kiran Merchant? The real one. How did the judge's signature, Mr. Kamdar 2005, he says, hey, you all are wasting the court's time. This Ravindra is litigant. It's an open and shut case. It's only a will. What you all are fighting all of the time about. He was pretty angry about the whole thing. He has signed it off saying that it's just a will. It needs to be divided between the two brothers. That's it. Yet the following year, the signatures only go missing. And that case elongates in the Bombay High Court all the way till 2017. How did that happen? The introduction of the underworld offering 20 and 40 crores though happened only post 2009. Shiv Sena also was involved in some way. Who triggered that? Why did you need to go for the mother-daughter team together? Varsha was already CRISPR to be the mother. Why did you have to remove the daughter? Ravi's friend Arun was there at the time Varsha got engaged and after she got married also. But I never saw him. Shape-shifting was the name of the game at that time. I met him once. And never after. In Dinky's room. Not like in Dinky's room, but I think the adults were sitting in the living room and then the youngsters had kind of hung around and then Ravi's friend had turned up at that time. But this entire marriage, when it comes to Varsha also, seems to be highly questionable. Just the way it has happened, just the way the whole setup is, that entire thing needs to be investigated very strongly. Though I think we're pretty close to end times. That's why we're getting all this information. My sister Varsha, Divya's classmate, is no more. The one that Divya studied with at Fort Convent. That JAYA.ADVANI is murdered. SRL is part of the crime. SRL's godfather is Jaitley. Divya is correct. Were it, yeah, I think that was more than enough. I don't think I need to say anything. Yes, so Dempo is connected with Goa, but then Salgaonkar is also connected with Goa. When I want to divorce from SRL, SRL chooses the lawyer who is NL law, and Salgaonkar is big in Goa yet once again. So there is a connect between that Dempo, who I met only once in my life, once, twice, thrice, not because I know him, just via. But there also there is some connect. That divorce better be a proper one. Because that entire setup, if there were 11 people who shapeshifted in that marriage, it was a sham. You mustn't call me Randi. You mustn't call me bad words. If you are the miscreant. If I wanted to have sex, I could have had sex with my first boyfriend when I was 12, 13 years old. Since I'm not promiscuous and I'm not fast, the way Puri put it on me. But then you are the mouthpiece in society. Jaitley, you can't beat his network, whether it's the law or it is journalism. Or then his connect from the BJP, keeping an eye on our home, hiring all our staff. It started with Gangaram. Vatsala also is his plant. Then he has hired Rosie. And everybody who has worked in any of our homes, this guy has run. That also in the shadows. So the filth comes from a particular source. That's only the mouthpiece. But establish it very clearly. If at the time when my dadi and my father and my mom and my sister, we are at Fort Jaswell. No, you have to hear this. First and foremost, there is one version of my father that's completely anti-women. He calls them stupid, uneducated, unintelligent. He doesn't like women at all. But if that be the case, then my father though was loved by his sisters, loved by his daughters. We're talking during the 70s, 80s, 90s. When he bought Fort Jaswell, finally he bought it in his mother's name. He always said, well, the best things that ever happened to me is, the two daughters. I'm okay. So what? Whatever he did from the time we were really young with his mother in the house, his wife in the house, whenever they bought jewelry at any given opportunity that he could do it, he did so for Varsha and me. Whenever he bought anything, you don't dare call it Benam because you are filth. Don't do that. Nobody will ever forgive you. There is a lot of people that have brought me up. They will not ever forgive you. So you better keep your filthy stories to yourself, because there is much more than you and your fuck-all network here on earth for a very temporary time. Also, I want to say, connected to that 5-month shitty marriage. No, you can't call it a marriage. 5-month rubbish of some high thinkers, more like high stinkers, very evolved people. If while I was growing up, including when I'm in the 7th standard, 6th standard, 8th standard, if you're going to place a device in the back of my throat, it doesn't allow me to speak clearly and audibly, and I have to eat up some of my words because you planted something without my permission, then don't blame me for it. Never met more villainous shit, filth than you. All I'm saying is, the ones who brought me up, the Advani family that brought me and Varsha up, said modeling was an out of the question job. The film industry, an out of the question. Entertainment, out of the question. Air hosting, out of the question. Journalism, also out of the question. Hotel industry also out of the question because they're primarily conservative people. How can they ever agree then to whatever happened? That's the 70s and early 80s. Then how could they agree to that kind of a trap if they were my own family? How would they agree to that kind of shit? But if we talk, if the society just talks amongst themselves and discusses, because few of these people have said, but what do your aunts have to say? What does your family have to say? So there are naysayers who have spoken against me publicly, but can that really be my family? Now, the amount of things that went haywire when it comes to taking loans and calling people absconders. Taking loans, siphoning the money, never paying it back. The founder is dead. The money is enjoyed by somebody else. The bad reputation goes to somebody else. How's that? International connect, though, this guy has all the time. After all, he's the only educated with law and with broadcasting to represent them globally. How is that used in his so-called agreements with others that want to support him for the People's Party? Well, you just need to think about everything. You don't pay blood buzzers in my body. I'll show you what I found out on the pendulum. So, you know the dried Tetley tea bag? Tetley. Tata and Cyrus also has some filth from here only to dry out the Tata Tetley tea bag. एकदम निचोड़ के. To all I will say, those who are alive declared dead, put your thinking cap on. Go to a place where you are not brain controlled by IP and telephony. Spend few months over there. Have enough people who can do your running around for you and address the issue. It's a huge issue. Okay, so it is 10:20 to 10:30. It is Friday. It is the 2nd of May 2025. 2 and 7 is the day. 2 being Moon, 7 being Pluto, and Friday being Venus. It's not bad. So primarily people who are either powerful or change makers, connected with Venus and Moon, the mind and the feminine side of things. It can also be the destruction of the mind as well as the feminine energy. It could also be to do with the entertainment and fashion and jewelry industry, luxury industry, everything luxurious. Okay, so we'll go ahead and see what we get. I'm not wed anyone, I'm wed only Shirdi Sai Baba. I'm just a communicator or I don't know, like a peon and a messenger, I can say. For what? Communicating with Shirdi Sai Baba, seeing what it is we're getting over here. Then after that you have to do your own thing, right? So anyway, we will start with taking Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings. We take Ganesh ji's blessings, we take Shiv ji's blessings, Shani's blessings, Uma Mata's blessings, Kartikeya's blessings, Vishnu's blessings, Ram Krishna's blessings, and of course Go Mata's blessings. Yeah, so that we get the proper direction. We can misunderstand things. I hope the pendulum is giving the proper answers, but I think only when we get some light thrown on something, then the investigation is to be done fully and then sort the issue out. It's easier said than done, but better it's done that way. Okay, so well, I feel like taking a knife and stabbing you. I'll pay 1 lakh, get you off, or I'll get rid of you in an accident. Apparently, this bunch has gotten used to grabbing. I say from the time my passport got stolen when I went to Australia 2 times over, first it is that version of Varsha. I think that girl was waiting to become Zinta or work for Zinta and shape-shifting. Her friend is Piggy Chops. They've gone away to America. SRL also is there, shape-shifting for Elon Musk. That's the girl who tells my father, all this is yours. See Jaya, how she is. If you give her everything now, what she'll become. Don't know what that was all about. But that was 97, 98. Then later on we have someone badging into Suman Towers. Then I'm told that the watchman downstairs said, all this is ours. This is ours only. It's not yours, Baba. Then when it comes to Sanjeev Lekraj in that little time that I was married at Laveen's house, he says, all this is mine only. Praveen, Laveen, myself, Cotton World is only for the 3 of us. The girls have gotten married. This whole property and that business is ours only. That's another, all this is ours. Then there is a printed magazine thing sometime in 2000 and I think 14, 15, where Jaitley is quoted, unquoted, saying we can go where we want. And if we want to build a railroad, raising down everything at Churchgate, we can do it. And we can do a road extension from Marine Drive, move from whatever lanes Marine Drive is, we can almost expand it into how many ever. We can do what we want. We can go where we want. There were many little things said. They refused to accept that this house where I've spent 96 lakhs, they refused to accept that this is my home. That is because there's a problem they're saying, when I wanted to get a 3 BHK at Godrej, a little away from here, I would have saved some money and got a bigger apartment at KIADB. In my throw, at least half a dozen times I was told, no, don't sell and don't go. There's a problem in the ECE. So how is this happening? The Jadodja property, which is worth how much? Is it 800 crores, 600 crores, 1000 crores, 1200 crores? The Hundalani has bought it on Pagdi. Who gave that suggestion? They have gone to court because Jadodja wants their property back. Was not able to. Did they get their property back? What is 65 lakhs for? So many hundreds of crores. If an open and shut case of Mr. Kiran Merchant's grandfather's will dragged on, once Judge Kamdar's signatures went missing the following year, the judgment passed in 2005 in Bombay High Court. That went on till 2017-18. Finally disposed of in 17-18. But by then my mother had already been pulled off the grid. Varsha was no more. That only the perpetrator knows. Or his network. Then what? Jadoja and people like that are going to lose their properties in this manner only. Eh? So these loopholes of the law, playing with the clause, only people who have some knowledge of the law will know. International law also that kind of person will know. So ये caretaking business of grabbing people's properties, grabbing, let's say, having economic offenses, that also the founders are dead. Who's going to actually support them? Who's going to speak on their behalf? You malign them, you steal from them because your inherent quality is what? Congress stole from you. The people who earn their money taking the risk of running a business stole from you. So now all this is yours because it is your hard work and perspiration that built other people's businesses and industries. That's what justifies all this. You were frustrated waiting on the sidelines, being an educated person in a party, in the opposition of all kinds of people, dying to kill them but have to smile at them just to get them to be part of the party, because that's what Ritu has said. I feel like actually slapping them, but I have to smile and talk. I want to give one pinch, but I have to smile and talk. I want to give them bad words, but I have to just smile and tolerate. So if that is your attitude all the time, you're burning, but you have to smile through it, फिर जब तुमको venting का एक opportunity मिलता है to vent your frustration, to vent your angst, to vent whatever it is you were boiling, seeing your peers all getting respect because they are the governing party, they're all educated, they're globally known, they're cutting deals all over, but you're stuck in an opposition party of a different genre and gentry altogether. We're talking about the 70s, 80s, 90s. फिर जब वेंट करना है कहाँ जाएगा वेंट करने के लिए, लेकिन वेंटिंग तो करना है ना, फ्रस्ट्रेशन इतना है तो क्या अंडर एज घरों के अंदर यू फाउंड सम प्लेस टू अनस्क्रू फ्रॉम द बैक, घर में घुस के मारना? नो, यू शुड आस्क. He's still alive. He's shape-shifting for Modi. You look at the eyes, you'll find out. He's 5'6", 5'7" in height. Can very well do the job. Narendra Damodar Das Modi is no more. Sushma Swaraj also is that height. Parikar also is that height. Raga also is that height. Anybody who is lesser than 5'7" can be Modi. लड़की भी 5'2" का है, थोड़ा इंसोल विंसोल पहन के, मोटा बन के, छोटा बन के, पता नहीं क्या है, बन सकते हैं. $400 is the name of the game. Actual on the ground abilities जो है बिना $400 का क्या है पता नहीं. अब नेटवर्क तो पूरा ब्रॉडकास्टिंग का, अब दूसरा काइंड ऑफ ब्रॉडकास्टिंग शुरू हुआ है, सटा ड्राइव टू ब्रेन टू एक्शन टू रिएक्शन. The days of word of mouth is now secondary. The press is secondary. They got a new game going. That and law, mix it together, how deadly is it? Then when you have smiled through it all and hired bottom of the pyramid to join you more strongly, कितना पापड़ बेला है. We are actually apolitical, to tell you quite frankly, apolitical, and we're just doing our part, okay, which is asking the pendulum whatever we need to ask. Pendulum does its own thing. Okay, can I ask you a question? Are you with me as of now? Are you willing to talk through the pendulum? Somehow, when I'm sitting over here, I kind of go blank at times. When I'm off camera and I suddenly get a thought from somewhere, then I come and question it. So, anyway, I wanted to ask you about Jetli because I asked you yesterday. Jetli is still in his human form. Is he still in a physical 3D form here on earth? Arun Jetli from the BJP. Is he shape-shifting as Narendra Damodar Das Modi Namo Namo in the BJP? Is Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi still in his human form? The original Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi who got married to Jashoda Ben, who had a chai stall. He used to help his father. I just read up on him again just to refresh my memory. Is he in his human form? He is the one who wears that something what the Shankaracharya used to wear. There's some photo of him with a beard and all when he's young. So that man is still in his human form. Has he moved? Has his Atma left his body and moved to the afterlife? Is his ego the one that Jetli wears today, being Namo Namo or Nomo Nomo? Does Sushma Swaraj also do the same work? Does Parikar also do the same work? Manohar Parikar, who used to be the CM of Goa. Does Manohar Parikar also do the same work sometimes, shape-shifting for Modi? Manohar Parikar was 4 times CM of Goa. Has he left his human physical form? So can we easily say that Manohar Parikar and Jetli are a team with SRL and Piggy Chops and Zinta? SRL for Elon Musk. You call them people with good karma? When they leave their human form, you see them going to the higher realms by default in the afterlife above the earthly realm. Why did you say yes? Why did you say yes? There is an idiot speaking from the fan and talking about Veta, and you're doing yes and playing a sound from my left side of my body. So why are you saying yes? I don't understand. Why are you doing yes? Are they going to the low? No, I want to stop the session. Okay, let me ask you what I asked you yesterday. Mr. Jetli, Arun Jetli, who's shape-shifting for Narendra Damodar Das Modi, you say? Is he going to be leaving his human physical form 2026? Next year? Is he going to be leaving his human form 2025? Is he going to be leaving his human form 2027? Is it because they're going to catch him for the shape shifting as Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi? They're going to be able to prove that he has done whatever he has done. Will he be physically leaving his body from the body of Mr. Arun Jaitley? Is he going to actually pass away and his Atma move to the afterlife? That is in 2027. Is he going to the higher realms when he, from the earthly body, when he leaves his body, will his Atma be going to the higher realms? Will he be going to any loka above Rasatal, which means Sutal, Atal, Vital, Mahatala, whatever it is, the ones closer to earth? Will he be going to that? Is he going to be spending most of his time between Rasatal, Patal, and Nark? Is that where you say he's been decided for? His journey over there is for how long? One kalpa? Will he manage to leave after one kalpa? Will he be able to leave after 10 kalpas? Will he be able to leave, let's say, this journey of his going forward at an atmic level, whether it is Nark, Patal, and Rasatal? Will he be able to leave it before 10 kalpas? Joining him is SRL, Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj and Rajan Lekhraj. Joining them is that lot. Raga also joins him. Parikar also joins him. Do all of them have to stay the full 10 kalpas? It is varying degrees from 1 to 10 kalpas depending on how much damage they've done for themselves on the journey. Raga, Jaitley and Parikar handhold and shake hands and are in the same work together. Shape shifting in the BJP party or the NDA? Playing the Hindutva game for the people primarily with their own agenda. Is there a lot of murder involved which is unaccounted and nobody knows about? I want to know, Gangaram, okay, the three boys who were placed, who did the sliding window and one, Saroj ran off with one of the boys, that was placed in our home by Jaitley. Gangaram was placed in our home by Jaitley or contacted by Jaitley. Vatsala Bai was contacted by Jetli. Vatsala Bai ever shapeshifted for your Hundalani ever? Vatsala Bai in later years shapeshifted for Anita once Anita was removed, and post 2009-10 sometime. Did he plug people like Rosie and Vatsala, who were maids at our home before? Not Rosie, but Vatsala. Did he plug those kind of people to be Anita at Lonavala? Do you call them caretakers of other people's property till the time he sells and wants to liquidate, giving them a little? He does that. Cloning people, plugging them, making them caretakers. They are happy with whatever little handouts are given to them. He takes a major chunk. Anything to do with United Breweries, Brewery House, Kingfisher, Videocon, and Merchant Household, and whatever happened in these three homes, he's got a hand in the grabbing and squeezing dry like the Tetley tea bag. It's got to do with the law and loopholes in it, and then his vast network of placements in journalism who will support him either out of fear or out of gratitude. Are there people that are hired, put into those slots, or is it just an RIL issue? And then an entire network at the bottom of the pyramid. We had to do papad belofying and peripona, being in the opposition for most of his career. Okay, I wanted to know when it comes to SRL. SRL had a relationship with Jetli. SRL had a relationship with Ramesh Advani, the real Ramesh Advani from the 70s, 80s. SRL had a relationship with Jetli connected with Cubbon Park and the running in the morning and all of that, with Ritu and all of them at 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, when he was shapeshifting as RA at some point in time, or his person was involved. Ranka is Lanka, Ranka Park, where SRL has one setup. SRL had a relationship with R. Madhavan also. SRL had any relationship with Cyrus Mistry? SRL fooled Cyrus Mistry in some way, and poor guy got caught in not knowing the full truth, being fooled on hearsay. I don't know whether he's a poor guy. Well, I don't know. Anyway, we don't get into it. We move on. Did SRL have a relationship with Did SRL have a relationship with Kira ever? Does SRL have to be the dominant man or the male alpha? The dominant in any relationship that he is part of? Does he have to be the decision maker at any cost? Man or woman, he just needs to exercise an upper hand, whether it is decision making or whether it is anything. He just needs to be very dominating. Is that SRL? SRL can be violent. Ashish Bhatia can, that brown skin, red face can be violent. SRL and that brown face, red face, Ashish Bhatia, were they ever in a relationship? Ashish Bhatia can cry easily. We're talking about the fair face guy. The actual Vaishnav Bhatia. We're talking about the brown red skin guy who showed himself last 2 years onwards of HR college, which means 93 onwards. SRL and our own cousin Nikhil Advani from the 70s had a relationship ever. Nikhil is actually delicate. Our real cousin is actually a delicate boy. SRL has had multiple relationships anywhere he goes. It's just about anything and anything. SRL and Anand Khandelwal had a relationship. SRL used Anand. Does SRL use people in his relationships and put them to work for his own end? Does SRL put people to work in his own end? SRL does deals with people. He's a deal maker. He does deals on behalf of Jaitley. SRL is the anti-god himself. SRL, for all his digressions and transgressions, works for the anti-god. The brown skin, red face version of Ashish Bhatia, he's an anti-god. He works for the anti-god. The red face, brown skin Ashish Bhatia works for the anti-god. Would you say Arun Jaitley is the anti-god? The actual anti-god? But we got that the anti-god rises from the Middle East. How does Arun Jaitley rise from the Middle East? I don't understand. Arun Jaitley is shape-shifting for Modi. Arun Jaitley is pro-India. Is it Arun Jaitley version of Narendra Damodar Das Modi, which on doing a throw we got sold Sita, sold Gita, anti-Indi, anti-God and Satan, connected with the word OD or then ODI, but saying that the real NDM went into a Nidra state and then was harassed a lot, his ego taken or his memories taken or his conscience taken, and when it is his conscience being put on whoever's playing Narendra Damodar Das Modi, it's a very pro-India concept. But if you put Arun Jaitley's ego, you will find that it is pro-India. Arun Jaitley's ego is pro-India. What about Parikar? Is he pro-India? Parikar and Jaitley are still friends along with Raga? Okay, let's just go one step at a time. Parikar and Jaitley are friends? If we take Raga's ego, is it pro-India? Raga's fault is the company he has kept or the style with which he has functioned? Ra- lazy that he wants shortcuts, wants to win it this way also and that way also, any which ways, in the shortest way possible. He's also highly immature. So Raga is actually not a bad soul. Is Raga going to the higher realms once he leaves his body? He's pro-India, but his karma, his actions, his decisions, his style, does his earned karma outcomes? Does it take him to the higher realms? He'll be joining Jaitley and the rest of the miscreants in the lower realms, maybe for a lesser time, but he has to pay off whatever it is, however which ways he's earned his rewards. Okay. What I'm trying to understand is, am I joining them in the lower realm when I leave from the body? Is my place also with amongst these people? I'm JAYA.ADVANI, so I'm asking, do I join them? Will you and I be exiting over here? You keep going to the lower realm, you told me, closer to the earthly surface. Sometimes you are sent there, sometimes you are sent to the higher realm, but more to do with the Bhuvar Loka and maybe the Atala Loka. You keep coming and going from the earthly realm is what I understand. You've got to take Shirdi Sai Baba's permission. Only when he gives you permission are you allowed to hang around over here for a few months. Then you got to pack your bags and go finish whatever it is you got to finish, either higher or lower, depending on how you are being booked or how you are being worked for. When I exit my body and go into spirit, will you be joining me and will we be journeying back to the higher realms once and for all together? Till that time comes, you will be just finishing whatever backlog you have to finish, lower realm or higher realm, soon, one after the other, quick, whatever is the backlog. Have I understood this properly? I'd asked you this off camera. I'm asking you the same questions, I'm getting the same answers. What I want to understand from you is, when it comes to SRL, did he have relationships with SRK as well as with or their EAs as well as SK's EAs? Some of them, if not all of them. Does he like to spread himself really thin? But mostly he does it to get the next leg up. He primarily uses people of both genders. Yet he is not the anti-god, you say. It is Jaitley who is the anti-god. Is Parikar the anti-god with Jaitley? So can I safely say we found out the identity of the anti-god? The Sata drive and how to use it and misuse it. How you don't get bound by law, yet it is connected with broadcasting in some way, both of Jaitley's fortes, law and broadcasting, journalism. This nonsense digital crap that goes off everywhere is Jaitley's doing. He is the mind behind all of it, thinking he can skip loopholes on earth through law, but doesn't understand that no, everything has to be booked for from the spirit realm, because Yudhishthira saying an entire truth, half under his breath, booked him for Nark for that little while. So nobody actually can get away with it. Alright. So this nexus actually went into all spheres of industry and globally as a movement run by Jetli in the shadows and from the shadows. Am I a lesbian? Do I have tendencies to like my own sex? Am I bisexual? Am I promiscuous? But do I have some things I look for in a man and I haven't found it, because after all, rear door entry in the shadows are slime balls, where we'll meet anybody who's even half decent. Is that my prime problem of not having found the appropriate partner, and now it's too late? It's already 51, 52. And we got great PR that has happened for us from the time we were 13, 14 or 15, 16. Do you call it the most cowardly, spineless, ugly Atma at play and at work, hiding in the shadows, doing all the damage? Would you say if the higher realms have a concept called a high thinker who then expends deeds that are of a very high caliber, you would call those going to the lower realms high stinkers with deeds atmically from the shadows which stink, taking them again to the sewers of the 14 realms and even further down? Okay. He likes wordplay. He's a journalist, no? So we're very dumb. So when we're very dumb, we can only do simple things, not the big things. So we'll continue with the reading. He contacted Rosie also, got her to lie also. No, I say whatever happens, no, Shirdi Sai Baba keeps telling me, presume whatever has happened in your life, consider it the blessing of Shirdi Sai Baba. So hum bolu and he says, it's 3 days work preparation and my work will be done. The miracle of saints is beyond human understanding. He also says my mom's merits are far greater than mine. I agree, because to tolerate whatever has happened and yet to survive it somewhere in the shadows, he says my mom is beyond recognition. You will not recognize my mom if you see her. He says she's going to pass away next year, 2026. Arun Jaitley is on a hunt for her, because he knows who he has placed. Ravi Kiran pe meri maa nahi hai. Arun Jaitley has fixed someone over there. Sharan May also, Varsha is not there. He has fixed somebody over there. They are caretakers for properties belonging to other people. When he wants to grab, he thinks he will grab. They don't mind doing the job because, they don't have better options. So he's gone placing people in different places. Mine is, maybe he thought he got rid of me when I went to New Zealand. But someone made a mistake and somebody else got caught. The original 1973 Kani Advani's daughter, Varsha Advani's real sister, Kalavati Hukumatrai Advani's real granddaughter, Kailash Advani's real niece, Vaushalya Advani's real niece, Nikhil Advani's real cousin, elder sister of Varsha Advani, the one who went to Fort Convent School, 2 years ahead of Divya Bhargava, Anu, Renu, Jaya, Daswani, Jaya Shahani, Priya Daswani, Priyanka Agarwal, Sakina Halela, Melanie Andrade, Kenaz Kazim, Parviz Modi, Roshni Karkaria, Tanya Baria, Zehra Rahimtullah, another Zehra, another third Zehra also, Rachel Dice, Genevieve Matthias. That is a few girls in the class that I studied at. From preschool at Fort Convent School to the 10th standard, 12 years. 2 years behind me is Varsha and Varsha's classmates, Gaikwad, Ghazala Pinto, some Vadia. Yeah, Bezad was in my class. Her sister was in Varsha's class, Nilufa Dhala. Payal Sanin, Divya Bhargava, Payal Sanin, Sunal Lekraj. That was all Varsha's batch. I don't know too many of them. Shirley Goyal, no, not in her batch, still younger than her. Aditi Anand was part of my class. She and Shirley had this one thing. They used to sit and write girls' names on their hands. And all blood coming out, sit and use a blade and put all that on their hands. I can't understand what's wrong with them. Shirley had this problem, Ashish Goyal's sister. The other one was this Aditi Anand from my class. ब्लेड लेके ब्लड निकल रहा है, वहाँ पे उसका जो नाम है वहाँ पे उसको लगाना है. बोलो मत करो, इट्स नॉट गुड. Rachna Tapalia was in my class. That way, Sumani also, Manjari Sumani, Preeti Agarwal, those girls also. Ashrita Jalan, little older than us, Bumna. वैसे तो Anjali Goyal, who is friends with the Mirchandanis, Hema, so many. Now, what is the point of letting you know? Just to tell you that whatever it is, the real JAYA.ADVANI is still here. Arrangement was to get rid of me, I believe, in New Zealand. But somehow I don't know how, we're still here. This process has started sometime after the passport got stolen in 96, 97. So 98 onwards, so every few years we have something or the other, including being pushed at the railway station. We don't really take trains that much, but in that year I was going to the Shankar Math, I told you, at Matunda. That's how I came to know about Dadar. And going to the shops at Dadar, when my mom says she needs to, uncle has told her go look for some saris. He has told her to do it. So she has gone. But that was to take evidence on the reel of the Sata. Now when we talk about Dadar, he plays a buzzer under my body because he's making me a housekeeper of my own property. When I have gone to Chancery and stayed 1 month, who does it? I've done it 2 times over. Holiday Inn Race Course, Gandhinagar, I have stayed for 5 weeks each time. Not because I want to, it's because the circumstances require it. We're paying the freaking money to the guy to extend the stay, he's calling me a servant. Not personally on the thing, it's in the ear, he's talking shit. We just ignore it and move on. We're getting in the fucking lift. He's calling me a fucking housekeeper. That's Jaitley at the bestest. Communication through robotics, artificial intelligence, but it is nothing but something that is stuck in the SEO of Google. Some SATA drive somewhere which does a facial recognition, fast tag, and then keeps repeating shit no matter where you go, and then makes that a reality, which is complete bullshit. How much these fucks have done it? पर हर किसी के बारे ये ऐसे करे और लोगों को वहाँ पे प्लग करे. No, let Jadoja decide. You ask why properties like this have ended up the way it has ended up. I will do it. Find out why I got such a great reputation. When my father has bought 3 properties, divided, one is in Nariman Point, one is in Andheri Lokhadwala, one is at Forge Aswell. It's a 4 BHK divided, then converted into a 3 BHK with a 32400 square foot living room. It may not be sea facing, but it's not a bad property. It's okay for our living. First and foremost, did I get my full value, or did this guy do something there also, take a major chunk thinking he's doing what? Pagadi. We sold it for how much? 3.5 crores. Was that really it, or was there a major chunk that went somewhere else? Because on Marine Drive, it's all going for 10, 15, 20 crores. But if we have a very clever person in the back, pulling strings the way he has pulled it, with SRL, फिर तो चोर चोरी करेगा और बोलेगा all this is mine. हक्का है कमाई. If 500 crore property is being offered by the underworld under duress, 20 and 40 crores, then you should understand the situation. But how did such situations come about? And you have dared to call me below the poverty line while I have been growing up. Why don't you find out from Fort Convent girls what were the rumors about JAYA.ADVANI? And Varsha.ADVANI to, I don't know. What were the rumors you have heard? Come on! There must be little decency in you people. Anyway, when Shirdi Sai Baba says all this is because of the blessings of Shirdi Sai Baba, I only come to one conclusion. Putting, actually canning 40% of that kind of a population around the world for a timeline that I'm getting is 1 to 10 kalpas. I suppose that is something, some achievement. It cannot be done without the blessings of Shirdi Sai Baba. He's the one who does everything. We're only an instrument. My mom's karma and merits are far greater than mine. She's not shape-shifting in the Indian Parliament. Hindulani's are, if you'd like to know. Rosie is staff of Mr. Kani.ADVANI. She's not my mother. She's staff, ex-staff, not even current staff. But she's been nicely used by Jaitley. There are some lies associated with her and her family. And then that entire network of them run by Jaitley and SRL. Okay? Don't mix it. She has shape-shifted with that Kamwali Bai called Vatsala Bai. Yeah? And gone and stayed in Lunavla, Punavla, or maybe some relative of hers has been plugged into merchant household. Just because there's somebody who steals, convinces you that it's okay to make big deal out of nothing because you can't earn your own. You become caretakers and staff for a filthy politician. That's all your role is. Alright? Come on. Enough bullshit. I'm your legal ex-employer's daughter. You have worked in an office bought in my name. Rosie Fernandez. Enough bullshit. Come on. Come on, come on. Enough bullshit. Are you with me? Do I have the right to be angry? Is my anger misplaced? Anita shapeshifts for Modi in the Indian Parliament. Anita, ex Anita Advani, my mother, your mother. Does Anita Advani, ex Mrs. Anita Advani, and last she was now she's widowed, Kiran Merchant, Mrs. Kiran Merchant, Mrs. Anita Merchant, widowed. Is she recognizable when in her physical form today? Can you recognize who she is? But is she an old lady? Is she like very old? Is she supposed to exit out of her human form in 2026? That is the travel. Does she shapeshift in the Indian Parliament as Modi? Do the Hundalani, someone from the Hundalani family, does somebody from the Hundalani family shapeshift for Modi or in Modi's government in the Indian Parliament today? Does Rosie shapeshift for Modi? Does Rosie shapeshift for Modi himself, or does Rosie shapeshift for somebody in the Indian Parliament? Rosie directly shapeshifts. Parikar is her conduit, or Jaitley is her conduit? Jaitley is doing her favors primarily because she helped him from the very beginning. Did Rosie tell the truth on behalf of Jaitley? Rosie primarily, you will say, is a liar. We're talking about Rosie Fernandez, whose mother Carmeline was the maid for my grandmother Kalavati Hukumat Advani, and Rosie herself was the secretary for my father at Kani and Company and H.G. Advani and Company. And you fed Rosie stale food 2009, which was spoken on the phone. Rosie Fernandez, who is shapeshifting at Indian Parliament, is who the reference was being made to by whichever delinquent talking with Mama's voice after Mama has already been kidnapped. Right? Mother-daughter team were pulled off. You were the daughter. You were in the form of the daughter. You were looking like Shalina when you were kidnapped. You were looking like Varsha Advani when you were kidnapped. You had been CRISPR'd to be Anita Merchant when you were kidnapped. This conversation with Anita's voice on the phone spoken to me, and you fed Rosie stale food. Your kidnappers were talking to me pretending to be Anita, but actually they were talking to you and switching lines, and I happened to overhear this one word, one sentence, and you fed Rosie stale food. It was the kidnappers who were actually talking about what crimes you had done and asking you to apologize for it. I happened to listen to one sentence because they couldn't contain themselves, or it was a line switching by mistake in the confusion. Did they make me listen to it speaking like Anita on purpose? They had this ability to do this primarily because they were supported by Jaitley, Arun Jaitley, filthiest of the filthiest. Then there is a connect with Raga and Parikar, the Catholic or the Christian angle to it. Raga connect. Parikar connect. Goa connect to Parikar. But then why was Parikar in 2014 when I have stayed at Hathi Mahal and Kosh and Subhash and that version of Kani at Hathi Mahal, South Goa, where again some shit has started on the streets of Goa. Why was Parikar at the airport at that time? Was Parikar at the airport when I was getting back to Bangalore? Whatever's been fitted into my body, was the first fitting done in Goa or first few fittings done at Goa? That version of Koshi is Kaushalya.ADVANI, who needs to skip every line and be first in line, no matter how long the line is, to check in. Filth to filth you are. Filthiest of the filthiest. So anyway, was that Kaushalya.ADVANI? Was that Kaushalya.ADVANI from the 1970s at Hathi Mahal? Was that connected with Rosie and Rosie's relatives who were shape-shifting for and making reels of me to wrongly classify me? Are they going to be successful in wrongly classifying me going forward and grabbing, let's just say, a zamindar's granddaughter's birth by the bullshit spewed by, don't know, God hasn't given them a good birth. They need to do all the shittiest crimes just to be a somebody and to keep their mouth above water. Otherwise they'll drown and sink. Useless means useless. Absolutely useless. You should be very careful of the kind of staff you keep in your home. यही लोग तुमको डुबा देंगे. Better do things little on your own, but don't keep shit in your home ever. Don't ever keep those kind of haram khor, useless class of domestic helps or staff, neither at your office nor in your homes. Never keep that kind of shit. And human rights better understand what has happened. Let the police do their job, because you allow crime to grow. Because you want to also play God. Or you are hand in glove with those who are anti-God. The word anti-God should tell you that anti-gods have no shame. In fact, they get very happy whenever they do an act of crime. It makes them feel like they're their forefathers' children now. Finally, they're glorifying their forefathers and ancestral names whenever the anti-God and his followers do all the criminal activities, from lying to hypocrisy to backbiting to backstabbing, then to stealing, then big stealing, then murder, and then there is no conscience, rather no guilty conscience. Everything in the shadows, dark, dark, dark. Then it comes to a time of black, 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 worse than a black hole, where if for 10 kalpas you're going to nark, you try it for 5 minutes, see if you like it. You don't like it, then 10 kalpas though, if that's what you want, you're not getting out. One thing I want you to understand, this entire thing is not because of me. It is the Guru who has played it out, that also from spirit. No, it is no human effort. If at all there is a human effort, we are only the instrument, just doing things. The rest of it is all from the spirit world. And no, not Jetli style of sata, fata, shita, crap going off, sounds going off from my body and you're recording crap. I don't know who gave you your education at a spiritual level. Whoever is your teacher, he is an absolute failure. he or she is an absolute failure. Absolute failure. Let me give you an example. This idiot, while he's moving, he's talking some shit, then transferring something into my body and playing sounds. While that idiot, while it is moving, it's a robotic. Now, he is playing sounds, making it look like I work somewhere. I'm working over here. I'm sitting and kutofying masala like Rosie may have for some curry on one particular day when my dadi says she's going to cook. Yeah, Rosie? So I'm doing that here, kutofying. Grinding with the hand grinder. No. Come on, keep the labor out. Labor is labor only, not my relative. You are staff, not my relative. I am not Jetli. I don't need to do handstands so my party in opposition grows. I don't have any desire. I am a citizen of this country, but I haven't got my basic rights as a citizen. But you born and brought up in the slums 2 generations has been used very nicely on the back of all the dance drama. So that handstands and then the return handstands, you'll keep to yourself. I'm your ex-employer 2 times over, granddaughter and daughter. That's all. Ex-employer. Ex-employer. No word play, no foul play. The constable is more competent, more empowered with his own face and his uniform, earned by him honestly, even dishonestly, doesn't matter, but he's not shape-shifting. He's empowered enough to actually arrest you for shape-shifting for such a key position. Not only you, everybody else. It's called identity theft. The man is dead. It is a very high level crime. Your network on the streets better understand it. So lynching karega, civil war karega. That's the only way you'll get away, is it? High levels of competency, like high thinking, high stinking. So anyway, what am I coming to? Let's say in my bedroom there's conversation happening with sound and whatever. They're recording it. They imagine for 400 years, when we are born, they'll recognize us and get us back into a new kind of a life, which is bullshit. This stale conscience limited to one birth are only recordings like, let's say, the 40s mixtape or 50s mixtape. After some time it becomes stale and boring. That's what they keep playing. The Atmas, I've been told, are not going to be returning on earth. Majority of us are not coming back here. This will self-destruct itself in time to come. It is going to play. ETs are going to play on earth. So it is like a stale movie playing itself out with nobody to really watch, nobody to really care. Those who are getting their ass kicked, Narak, Patal, Rasatal, real time, are actually going through far worse than what they would have gone through on earth. Those who are opulent, enjoying Swarg onwards and upwards, are enjoying themselves. They are actually live over there. Here you will end up having stale energy, which is only a recording, which keeps playing itself till it disintegrates itself. Very few live Atmas will be returning here, whether from the southern realms or the northern realms. So you are insulting me, but that's a recording. But I am living opulently live in the upper realms. You are getting ass kicked live in the lower realms. You are not returning for the next 10 kalpas, 1 to 10 kalpas. You know, 1 kalpa is 4 yugas. Check with the Shankaracharya how long 4 yugas is. So, whether over here or whether anywhere you go, what is yours, what is mine, nobody can take anything of anybody's. At the most, we can foolishly, if we refuse to understand and we want to do our own thing, thinking we are very smart, misusing law and connections and broadcasting, overly intelligent, but so overly intelligent that we actually stamp down on our own foot and kick our own stomach, time and time again. Then levels of intelligence you can understand, like high thinking for the upper realms, high thinking for the lower realms. You understand law on earth. You apply it, find the rules, and then find the loopholes, and then you're sitting, views of ego, preening at yourself, thinking you're too smart. But have you understood the spiritual laws? But that's what's going to control you. Rather, it governs you, doesn't control you. Your actions control you. It is those laws in the spirit realm that decide what it is and where it is and how it is. You will get respect or disrespect depending on how you've earned it. I will not do it by free will, the way you foolishly did it, on the back of so many lies, so much bad karma. You entered a house where we were underage. And from there, with your lies, stinking stealing, useless as hell, you rose on the back of the shittiest, stinkiest karma ever. But karma is karma, limited to this birth. उसके जो rewards तुमको मिला है, ऐसे stinkiest लोका पे है 10 कल्पा. All the best to you. You require all the good luck in your fraternity to help you out in the future. The upper realms cannot do anything. Hands are tied. So Jaitley is the filth who has brought in all the shapeshifters post 2009 everywhere. All ex-domestic helps put to use by him. Jaya is their ex-employer's daughter or granddaughter, depends which domestic helps they've picked up. Jaitley. That's how he feels better about himself. He's got huge ego problems. He's got mental issues which need to be sorted out in a counselor's office. You think so? He has imagined slights, covers it up with intelligence, conniving and cunning and sly. He's involved in murder. Of course, from the shadows. He has patience. But does he have revenge while he's patient? Nirmala is any relative of Nirmala C.R. Raman or Ramon. Is any relative of Rosie Fernandez? Or Rosie Fernandez shapeshifts for Nirmala Sitaraman? Rosie works as a secretary for somebody in the Indian Parliament. Rosie shapeshifts as Modi sometimes in their roster whenever they get a chance to shapeshift. उनका बड़ा चर्निंग होता है, रोस्टर होता है. The PM1, PM2, PM3 and fucking around with all the deodorants and soaps. Is Rosie's doing? With a Jaitley, sometimes smell of shit, sometimes smell of vomit, sometimes smell of urine. That is Rosie's ability to be the PM of this country, shapeshift for that position. Rosie is going to Nark once she leaves the body. When Rosie goes to Nark, Patal and Rasatal, does she make it to Rasatal? Does she go away to Sutal? Okay, if Jetli is getting 10 kalpas in those lowest realms, once he leaves the body and his Atma goes into the afterlife, that is 2027, Rosie goes to these realms for 10 kalpas also. Has she earned a place over there for 10 kalpas? Has she earned a place over there for 9 kalpas? Has she earned a place over there for 11 kalpas? Has she earned a place over there for 8 kalpas? Has she earned a place in Patal, Narak and Rasatal for 7 kalpas? The fight or the misunderstanding that happened between Cyrus Mistry and her son Rocky Fernandez, where's Cyrus Mistry's ego? Did he put a bad ego of someone less intelligent upon the original Cyrus Mistry? All this came out of the BJP camp. Jetli is the reason for it. The dry Tetley tea bag that I spoke about was connected to, let's say, foul play created on purpose between Cyrus Mistry and Ratan Tata. Something to do with the ego exchange of some kind. Jetli dried out SP, which is Shapurji Palunji. Rosie dried it out. Misused their assets. But that is because Jetli gave her a long leash, which she misused or used her own way. She purposely exchanged the egos of her son Rocky Fernandez with Cyrus Mistry. Can Cyrus Mistry get his original birth ego back? If Cyrus Mistry goes to a place which is not connected to the IP address or then to telephony, will he get back his normal thinking? You're saying they have blocked his brains in some way? Is there anybody that can help him to get his stuff back? If they remove the egos on me, will I become very dumb? Like very blank and dumb, very less intelligent. I-Jaya.ADVANI will become like a duffer. But those are my natural brain abilities, being like a duffer. Very blank, not able to really think. Is it because I'm kind of autistic? Without looking autistic? For most part of it, hopefully. I don't know, whatever. But is my brain naturally kind of duffer type? So anyway, are we going to end up getting our natural abilities by birth down the line, even if it is for the worse, or then in some cases for the better? Is SRL going to get caught soon along with Jaitley? Do you promise that? That this bunch of miscreants are going to get caught and punished? Okay. Rosie is not Audrey. Do not call Rosie Audrey. Rosie's mother is Carmeline, not Audrey. Audrey herself was stolen from, I feel. I don't know. I have no idea. The only thing I am happy about is I would not be able to live with stealing something from somebody. Apparently, my DNA has some strings from Audrey, but it is not stolen stuff. Put upon my sister Varsha was stolen in an exchange. But she didn't know about it. So they switched things around. How I got this kind of DNA or some string in it, I don't know. I'm not sure. But as long as it is not stolen, the problem is if we steal and take. So mine is not stolen, but put upon Varsha was stolen. Varsha is no more in her body. Varsha has already passed on. The girl who studied with all the girls that I have mentioned in her class, batch of 91 from Fort Convent of Jesus and Mary. I'm graduating batch of 1989. Varsha was batch of 1991. So that sister of mine is no more in her physical form. So Rosie, the reason I asked about Rosie because we got it with SP. She was helped by RIL or RIL. RIL has a role to play, one way or the other. Sitting and making dog sounds from inside the back of my throat is not by doing it. That's you being your own sense of humor till the time it lasts you. Okay, afterwards, all the best to you. You know, in my setup, I never say everything is fair in love and war. Keep your friends close, enemies closer. Enemy है. Backstabbing the friends को कभी करते ही नहीं है. It talks about me being a villain then, no. Unethical, cheat, a slime ball. But then हम ऐसे हैं तो हमारा ancestry और descendants का क्या होगा? हमको उसका सोचना पड़ता है ना. फिर क्या नट जाके घर वहाँ पे forever बसाऊं? नहीं, हमको नहीं करना है. युधिष्ठिर ने एक पूरा सच बोला था, लेकिन आधा सच अंडर हिज ब्रेथ. उसके लिए उसको नट निकलना पड़ा थोड़े वक्त के लिए. If that's not a standard, then I don't know what is. I don't ever want to be you. Not ever. And I say, when people like you do what you've done, stick to your gun, what you have done behind the back. It is only those cheap, degrade movie villains. जब उसका टाइम है to be found out and then to be done away with, फिर वो आता है पैर पकड़ने के लिए. But then again, after all the dance drama in that movie, if you let that villain get away, the minute you turn your back, he'll look for some instrument, weapon and come to stab you yet once again or gun you yet once again. So you know what? An atmic quality is an atmic quality. You have chosen your side, you stick to it. At least have that much decency to your chosen line of action for so many years. वहाँ पे भी जो है गद्दारी मत कर, Last minute switching like and flipping and flopping, either like a fish that's been pulled out of the water, so he's flipping on trying to breathe and see how he can jump back into the water, or then like a frog, hippity hop, chameleon, kabhi aise kabhi waise. No, take one stand. You have already taken, as a community, as a collective, you have already done it, na? So at least be dabang to take your stand and see it to the very end. You dare to call yourself a guerrilla warrior. All is fair in love and war. Keep your friends close, enemies closer. When you have friends like that, who needs enemies? What kind of slime balls are you? Yeah, great levels of spirituality. बहुत हाई थिंकिंग है तुम लोग, बहुत इवॉल्व सोल्स है. दिखता है, हर लेवल पे दिख रहा है तो है क्या चीज, नस नस में दिख रहा है. So Rosie connected with SP Shaparji Palunji. ER must have given them little. ये तो पैसा खर्च करता ही रहता है, पैसा बाम बाम. EM, let me ask. I have a question with Elon Musk's camp. The real Elon Musk, the boy who grew up at Pretoria, that boy is in his physical form. Is he alive? This bunch of miscreants got rid of him along the way. They used my identity and my passport to get to that camp. The one who minded the entire thing was Jaitley. All this started from the time I was 14, 13 years old, from school only. Divya Bhargava was made to become your friend for the point of keeping an eye, or then, I don't know, 1 foot into the door. Divya Bhargava is a victim. Divya Bhargava is a villain. Divya Bhargava studied at D.Y. Patil. She became a dentist. She lived abroad. When she came back to India sometime in 2006, 7, 8 for a couple of years with her husband. They were here primarily. Did your kidnapping have something to do with it? With her being here at that time? I want to know Elon Musk के जो duplicates है, or May Musk and her duplicates. Rosie Fernandez, some relative, is shapeshifting in Elon Musk's camp or May Musk's camp as either of the two. That's what gives this woman an extra hand. It is her relatives that are playing all these sounds from under my body. You are thrash. Pakka thrash. Sewer material of shit. One thing you hear, the worstest slums on earth is a king's paradise compared to now where you are going to live. 10 kalpas, 7 kalpas, whatever it is. Lamba safari hai, safari safar hai. Does Rosie's daughter shapeshift? Did Rosie take my identity and put it on her own real daughter and gene edit to get access to the Elon Musk camp in the 90s or the 80s? My stolen passport of JAYA.ADVANI, Jaya Kanyalal Advani, JAYA.ADVANI, was it stolen for Rosie's relatives to be sent into the Elon Musk camp as one part of it? Rosie's relative who stole my passport, the girl who stole my passport and went abroad, that girl is still in her human form. She's had a face surgery changing her face in some way. She still functions out of my identity as an NRI. Is she the original JAYA.ADVANI? Would you book her for identity theft of mine and gross misuse of the identity, culminating into a lot of heist stealing murder globally? Would you blame Jaitley for it, along with Rosie Fernandez and Rosie Fernandez's some children and her network? The girl who stole my identity and has gone abroad, she's still abroad as of now? She's in Elon Musk's camp or Trump's camp as of now? As May Musk maybe? Am I responsible for any heist, or have I stolen anything from anybody? Have I been stolen from grossly? For whatever was provided for me that I'm not aware of. I'm only guessing. I can't imagine why somebody would do what they've done, the manner in which they've done it. Was I provided for, or were you provided for? Rosie stole all of it with the help of Jaitley, connected with politics, or at least manipulated it from the back. Today he's shape-shifting as Narendra Damodar Das Modi. Do you see the truth coming out and them getting booked for gross misuse and identity theft and all kinds of theft and illegal activities? Do you see them getting caught? No, under my nose while I'm alive. Do you see them being addressed by whoever the authorities left on earth are who can do a job? Do you see the issue being addressed? Is Rupa a villain? The girl Rupa who worked at Times of India when Tony Fernandez was working in Times of India, Rajat Banerjee was working at Times of India, Archana Mitra was working at Times of India, the Savants were working at Times of India. Is Rupa a villain? Shom is a villain. Times of India, many people are a villain. They helped in the stealing. What is it? The connect with Jaitley that they did it? Is there an international consortium that is actually going to look at this, or international intelligence people who will look at this? No, has someone got the wind of something being wrong, or am I on my own? Frankly, in the dark, not sure what is what, but just trying to figure things out. My face that was ruined, was it done on purpose? Was it done by you? Was it further damaged by you? 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That also was you? You damaged it purposely? My shapeshifter replica did it? To make herself more physically pleasing in appearance and acceptable as JAYA.ADVANI, given whatever JAYA.ADVANI's identity is, for why it was viable for Jaitley to steal and to play on the back of. I don't even know what it is, frankly telling you. All I got it is my mother, who was married to Vithal Malia. Except my mother is Anita, who was ex Mrs. Anita Advani and then married to Kiran Merchant. So there is a big problem over there, but there is a patsy angle for the friendship. No, I'm really confused. I don't know. Whatever has happened behind my back. It has started from a time when I was pretty young. Even if it is not me, it is about Varsha. So the foul play has come in from Jaitley. Legal loopholes as well as broadcasting. Internationally via Times of India maybe. The Hindutva game. Spiritual. They dare to call it Advait while they steal. When you go to Nark for 10 kalpas, you bloody well don't squeal even one bit. You do your meditation in an Advait fashion. It really stinks, that place. Atmically also, deeds wise also, company wise also. They're all just like you. And you get a good massage. It's like a sardine stuffed in a box of a shithole. Okay, coming back to this, the first time my face was ruined in the 12th standard, you're taking responsibility of it, Varsha? Was it under the guidance of somebody? Were they trying to package you as me? Was it done by the original Advanis? Your guidance was coming from the original Advanis? From the 70s? Your guidance was coming from, whether shape-shifting or not shape-shifting, your guidance was coming through Jaitley's team of people? Because they were shape-shifting either as Kani Advani or shape-shifting as Ramesh Advani. Your guidance came from them? Whenever somebody was talking to me about the Deccan Queen being derailed, were they talking about how they had derailed me only? Why do you still think Shirdi Sai Baba, this is all Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings? Because he keeps saying that this is Shirdi Sai, all this that has happened is Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings. It's all with Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings that all this has happened. Do you still see it as a blessing? When you see it from an Atmic perspective and from a bird's eye view perspective, long term and looking at the Atma and the Atmic journey, do you consider it a blessing? The way it has worked out? What is the blessing in it? A job well done? Trash canned for the longest time to come in the best way possible? In an unfailing decision or judgment? Without spoiling karma of mine, following the rules of Shraddha Saburi, faith and perseverance and patience, and letting, let's just say, the divine play take care of it in divine timing, but unfallible for the longest time to come, netting an entire community that deserves to be netted. Is that's why it is a blessing, a hidden blessing? Was this blessing in my chart on the back of Shani, Mercury and Venus and Jupiter? Is this blessing seen in my chart, D1 and D9? Okay, we'll go back to the reading. It would have been better, instead of insulting me and getting a high of it, which is what the lower realms shitty souls do. No high thinking, high stinking only, atmically. Would have been better if you had learned to contain it. When you insult me, you have derailed the Deccan Queen, you have stolen my identity, you have created some shit, you stolen, lied, murdered. Spread your people in Russia also, spread your people in America also, grab the Indian parliamentary seat also. Kya Radha? Shame on you. It would have been better you waited it out actually. अगर हमारा कर्म खराब हो गए, हमको तो कोई बचा नहीं सकता है. I'd have to actually pay it up. But here though you helped me earn so much punya, कि few kalpas will be happy in our realm, enjoying, lazy as we are. Relax more. You fursat se work out whatever you have earned at your earned home. 7 to 10 kalpas between Rosie to Jetli. Rest of you will follow suit. I've been told depending on what your contribution is, it's 1 to 10 kalpas. Jetli is the pinnacle of it. 10 kalpas. Okay, so continuing with the reading, I want to ask, I want to know. Well, I had lunch, so I'm still going to continue the reading. It is 14:04. I did take a break 2 hours ago. I've returned now. I'm a little slow. I've slowed down yet once again. So eating also is slow. Nothing. I had lunch that was pre-cooked, except for the rice. Everything else was already there. But I guess we're a little slow. But I'm not feeling sleepy, so I'm willing to go ahead and finish the rest of this at least as much as I can. Otherwise, if I feel sleepy, I'll go to sleep or nap in the afternoon. I got that Rosie's son Rocky's ego had been exchanged with Cyrus Mystery, making Cyrus Mystery's mental capacity different from what his capacity mentally was otherwise, naturally. Okay, so maybe in the SATA drive she has. It is this lot only that, with the help of some people who have gone flipkarting people's actualities. So if she is in the RIL, if she's placed herself in the SP and the RIL realm, it is not surprising. Her son has taken Cyrus Mystery's ego and worn it and placed egos of whom I don't know on Cyrus Mystery. That could be one of the reasons why he was found. Whatever happened between him and Ratan Tata, we don't know the exact story. But anyway, so it is not surprising that she is moved herself to this realm. She would have done it through her son, who by birth they have grown up in the slums of. Her mother was in the slums of Bandra East. She herself has grown up over there. Her sons also, up to a point, would have grown up there and then moved to the Bhayandar, some room that was given to her over there by the church. That's actually her background. Then switching it around, okay. After all, if the SATA drive is going to change things so blatantly, then okay, this is what it is from the SATA drive. But then people connected, the Chaglas and all, connected with Cyrus Mystery, or then people like them, Jadoja and all, they should understand what's happening. No, you, at the end of the day, what is the Confederation of Industries? What is an Uday Kotak? What is an Anand Mahindra? Who are these people? Are they the originals? Are they the duplicates? Sitting and grabbing, killing people and grabbing people's egos, that anybody can do, only the foolish actually do it. So what's the point of having these institutions? These guys are not capable of making the money going forward. Her way of expending her time at the Indian Parliament is playing sounds and gaming under my body, calling me names and insulting me around my house because she has worked. She's an ex-employee of my father. Her mother is an ex-employee of my grandmother. So that's my fault. So she's expending her place in the Indian Parliament doing this shit. Is that the job of the Indian Parliament? Raga, would you like to answer it? Apparently, you have given with bad karma, so it drags you to her realm. Not on this board, by birth. You remember what I have said in the past. Not for your most favorite grandson will you return and go to help him. His earnings are his, yours are yours. Who you think we were talking to? Even we don't know. But this is a download. I don't know what it is about Sophie. It could be Sophia, Sophie, Sophia. So this is all on their SATA drive, which they say is going to be working for the next 400 years. We'll ask the pendulum whether that's the case. Are you with me? What was required to be asked about Rosie? Is it true that Rocky has warned the ego of Cyrus Mistry? Was it voluntarily given to him by Cyrus Mistry? Did Cyrus Mistry know about it? Was it stolen from Cyrus Mistry? Is it one of the reasons to cause a problem when it came to Cyrus Mistry's performance when it came to the board of directors and then having to be ousted by Ratan Tata? Is it directly or indirectly connected with something in and around this? Is there a version of some girl that Cyrus Mistry knew during the course of time who he, I don't know, anyway, was anyway. So he was stolen from. What I want to know over here is Sophia. I wanted to ask you, these people have gone and put people in different realms. So Rosie, who actually her mother also was in the Bandra slums, Rosie herself was in the Bandra slums. Then the church gave her a room in Bhayandar. While her kids would have been, the oldest could have been a teenager, or little more, yeah, about a teenager. That's not exactly the realm of SP and RIL. Yet that's what it is showing as. But it is an EEE effort. They think they have put into place people's position on earth whenever they visit for the next 400 years. And that they will be recognized when they are born over here. Is that how it actually works? Going forward, will it actually work that way? Will artificial intelligence be able to identify the Atma in a new form, new body, new conscience, but new form, new body, new conscience? Any form can come here as a parasite, also depends. The reason to come here is to enjoy the fruits of action, good or bad. So, will artificial intelligence be able to identify the form, the new form in which the old conscience it has grabbed of somebody, or has been, it has been plotted with, of somebody who has exited? Now that person, the Atma, has come back in a new form. Will artificial intelligence be able to catch on to it? So in short, this was a wasted effort. So the people who have done this on the Sata drive and taken realms that were not naturally given to them, it was dumped on them. The one who did the dumping is the one who's going to be booked in the future for bad karma. So the one who is involved in the exchange of egos is going to be booked for bad karma. I want to know, what is the earth, what is the state of earth going to be going forward? Are you in a position to tell me? Is earth going to stay the way it is going forward, as it is as of now? Is earth only going to have the recorded voice through technology playing all the time? ETs is what it's called. That means stolen stale conscience of one birth of a whole load of people. That's going to be playing on earth. But what about the people who die and pass away and go away? Will they be returning to earth in a new form? No, like, will they be returning almost immediately? Is there going to be a break and everyone going home to the earned realm for some time now to come? But this, the conscience, the whatever the lies are spewed, played on earth, because most of it is flipping people around, and then it's just like a stale audio record playing with no real substance to it, because people aren't here actually. And today's Jaya can be tomorrow's cockroach. And tomorrow's Ratan Tata can be, today's Ratan Tata can be tomorrow's some girl name. You're saying artificial intelligence will know who Ratan Tata is if he's born in the future, in whatever form he's born. The SATA drive will be able to say, oh, this is Ratan Tata, we've got a recording of him, this is him back over here. So in short, all the Atmas will go home and reside in their homes like they are alive, but in spirit. Yet their spirit does not get affected by the recordings on the Sata drive. That becomes stale conscience, limited to one lifetime. This stale conscience that will be playing is like playing house as a child, or doctor as a child. With no one really partaking in it real time. An absolute disconnect between the Atma and the realms, and a show going on earth which no one's watching. That's what's to happen. Will there be human beings at all born on earth during this time? Is there a point of destruction on earth going forward? Like mass destruction in some way? Does everything become kind of robotic over here with no real Atma? Or if there is Atma, it's in all the tangible things? So we're talking about all tangible, like a sofa, table, chair, that kind of thing. That's going to be existing over here, but who runs it? Don't you need humans to run it? Will it be self destructing in the future when something goes wrong in the system? So, will it end up how does it exit? Will it self destruct itself? Once it's run its course. That will go on for how many? For one full kalpa. Will this thing happen for one kalpa, two or two kalpas? The break of, let's just say, life forms that are natural from the realms is for two kalpas? Is it for one kalpa, one full kalpa, as an entire break where souls are not allowed to come into any form on earth? Is it for one kalpa going forward? So that means minimum the souls that have earned a bad realm, minimum they have to spend being alive in spirit real time. No stolen conscience, but their real actual conscience. Minimum one kalpa they have to live where is as earned by them going forward. She has told me this before also. इसने हमको पहले भी ये ऐसे नहीं बोला है, not like this. But she has said 1 to 10 kalpas. So she is saying the same thing. I don't know how Sophia and beer comes together, not sure. Or it could be Reem. Sophia Seer B Rin Il Realm. So maybe sickness. I'm also mostly unwell. Maybe because I'm carrying her ego. I don't know, at times. Could be. We don't know. We are a duffer actually by birth. Under normal circumstances, we're very stupid. Not stupid, we're actually dumb. Little dumb brain. Dumb to the point where in the Krishna play where we had to stand in a particular way, my mother for 1 month has told me this way. But when we're standing on the stage, finally we stood how we are. What naturally comes to us, we're not able to, we get confused what we're supposed to do. So finally when we went on the stage, we stood wrongly only, I don't know what happened, but for 1 month they were training, but we couldn't actually match it. So when I came out of the play, I thought my mother will fire me. How much we have taught you and still you did the wrong thing, but she didn't say anything. But the confusion is always there. How we are so clear minded as of now, we don't know. But we know that while we were growing up, we were quite a duffer. Rin il er b Sir Sophia Am. Who's Merlin? I've heard this word before also. Merlin. RIL Merlin Sophia Sear B. Something connected with Merlin. There could be a Marlin also as a name, yet connected with Marlene. O Marlene कुछ होवे, connected with RIL. I don't know if Ahuja or somebody was involved with a lady called Marlene, or Rita auntie, when she got married to her husband, the first husband, and that marriage got annulled, was because of a lady called Marlene who he was involved with, her first husband. Not sure if that's the connect or what. But Sophia Sear, RIL Marlene B, or connected with RNL in some way. RNL being SRL's father. SRL Sophia Marlene B ER. So what if you're the ER? It is how you expend your place that matters. So far, I think whoever is connected to whatever is connected with me, you are highly unethical, immoralistic, not fit for the role. If it is ER. सच्चाई है तो क्या है? तो कर्म कैसे डिस्चार्ज करता है, कौन से घर तुमने कमाया है, वो हर चीज़ कहता है ना. Now whatever has gone out in the shata fata shita tita drive, this is the second or third time I'm getting the same answer. Minimum 1 to 10 kalpas. In that time over here nothing's going to come. There's something that's going to happen that's going to overthrow everything. Then there is a clearing out. ये जो कुछ भी बना दिया है noise factor, it is going to play itself out, to die itself out. but it's not the reality of what is actually happening to us atmically. What is happening to us atmically here, there could be a fucking recording going on which is talking what? A schizophrenic, imagined theatre going on with nobody actually watching it. A repetitive, boring, stale recording of no consequence. Whereas the actual Atma, wherever it is settled at, without the ability to move out of its place for minimum one kalpa. So not for your most favorite grandson will you reincarnate, is what was said. He's got his own earnings, you've got your own. He has to be responsible for his own. Also, I told you, everyone's now been reclassified. Before, our ancestries, we used to come back to our own ancestry. Sins of the father to be paid by his children, and so on and so forth. We keep coming back. So I told you the ancestral lines are changing. No, not in your sata, shita, tita drive, not that crap. Real life. As in real time to do the actual Atma. The live Atma with no form, in a place for most Atmas in the 14 realms, divided in maybe 13 realms or 12 realms, don't know. But even if we say it is 14 realms, नर्क जो होता है वो 15th realm actually होगा from the 14th realm, because पाताल is the last. तो धरती तो छोड़ो क्योंकि यहाँ पे कोई नहीं आ रहा है, तो it can still be 14 realms. After all, who's going to accommodate नर्क? So anyway, we don't know. There could be an ER involved. For the case of SRL, Sophia and Marlin, he may not be the ER. We're assuming he's working for the ER or was connected with the ER in some way. But he's going to the lower realm. His home is with his peers. Not even Sutal. It's Rasatal, Patal and Nark. I'm not sure whether Marline or Ramline. If Sophia is the seer, फिर वो बनती है शायद राम की लाइन. SRL Siaram. B Rope. line. Line no Nile. So let's ask the pendulum what it is. Is there anything in this that I need to have a look at? Connected with SRL. SRL is from the Ram line. He roped the Ram line. Are you saying he noosed it in some way? Ram had something to do with the Nile? Sia Ram is representative of a couple? Are we talking about Riley and her husband? Are we talking about Justine and her husband with their 5 children? You're talking about that version. You're talking about that version of Elon Musk who got married to Riley? So roping Sia Ram means he trapped them in some way? They never had kids. That's because he interfered with them in some way? Did this guy shapeshift in their marriage too, in Riley's marriage too? He's the reason they broke up at some point in time? Does SRL have Ram's energy, Lord Ram, Vishnu's energy? Because he does so much of, going where he wants. As Jetli has said, they can go where they want, do what they want. Does he have Ram, Lord Ram's energy, SRL? What about his father, NRL, RNL? Is he Ram's energy? So, in short, you are saying that he trapped the couple, Riley and her husband. The version of whoever cried twice when leaving the earthly plane in the year 2020 or 2021, I don't know. Was it 2020 or 2021? I think it could be 2021. Was that version of the boy? Because he says Elon at war, Elon got raped, Elon at the cave, Elon something, the 15 non-stop, 20 non-stop, non-stop. And then Shirdi Sai Baba said, I asked, are you going back home? He says, yes. I said, so are you going to the higher realm? He says, no. But is it an okay realm? He says, yes. So he's going to a little lower realm than the earthly surface. But he's being sent home. That's what the pendulum said. But I said, was that you? The one who was sitting and crying? You were feeling bad because he's going home. You people were hanging around each other till people get sent home. You all were waiting for your passage to your realms. Anyway, he's gone. Has he reincarnated? But he's an okay spirit in his realm, wherever now. Must be Atala Vitala, only closer to the earthly surface, but under the earthly surface. He's okay. He's doing fine. You visit him sometimes. So good. That's good. Same way, the ones who dropped Shirdi Sai Baba's photo, 2 photos and one Durga Mata's photo, they've gone where? To Rasatal, Patal, Nark kind of places. Do I know those people? Did I know them while in the body? They are men, boys. Rocky Fernandez himself. SRL himself. It was Rocky Fernandez who was sent off over here from the balcony in the living room. With him, any other people? Cyrus Mistri's EA duplicate? Even Ratan Tata? Arti Arta or some shapeshifter for Arti Arta? She has to reincarnate quickly, expediting bad karma as a beggar on earth almost immediately. I will have to be in this body of mine as I am here on earth. I'll be turning 52 in June. I will have to be over here in this body for the next how long? 5 years? Can I exit out of this human form of mine in the next 5 years? Can I exit out of this body of mine, human form of mine, of this birth in the next 10 years? Can I exit out of this body of mine in the next 15 years? Can I exit out of my body of this human form in the next 15 to 20 years and go back to spirit? Will I be returning anytime soon into a form on earth going forward? So minimum one kalpa I will stay back in the realm that I have earned, as is, where is. Is that realm in the higher realms? Will you be joining me? As of now, do you get sent by Shirdi Sai Baba to the lower realms and the higher realms? just depending on what the work is or what you need to do. Are there times you have to take permission from him, then for 4 months or 7 months you can hang around me here on the earthly plane? So you'll be doing this for the next so many years till I'm here. Once it is time for me to go back to the afterlife, you and I will be going back together. After that point in time, will you have to return over here? Once we leave finally, will you have to return here for minimum one kalpa in any life form, on any form? That's we kind of free ourselves up on the back of it. At least for minimum one kalpa. In the higher realms, do we hang around each other? Do we have our communities over there that are very prosperous and well settled? Will Rosie be joining us over there, even if she's working for us? Will she be joining us over there? Will her Atma be joining her son in the lower realms as earned by them? Will Jetli be joining them too? Vatsala also will be joining them. Gangaram also joins them. SRL also joins them. When Cyrus leaves from his body, does he have to go and live in the same realm as Rasatal, Patal and Nark with these people? Will he manage to get a realm if he keeps it straight and doesn't go and mess it up? But will he be able to get a realm which is more like the Atala Vitala kind? It is not higher than the earthly realm, but it's not bad. So will he manage to go to the Atala Vitala realm and live, let's just say Atala Vitala, minimum one kalpa? Will he ever have to visit Rasatal during the course of time? Will he ever have to visit Patal ever? But if you think about his maximum stay, will it mostly be in like the Atala Vitala? Okay, so he will have to divide it in all the lower realms depending on how much ever time it is. The majority time is not Atala Vitala. What about Ratan Tata? Does he go to the higher realms? The real Ratan Tata, not the false one. There are many shapeshifters for many people, but the original Ratan Tata goes away to the higher realms. He's free to travel to the higher realms. Okay. What about your mother-in-law Geeta? She goes to the higher realms once she leaves the body. Your father-in-law Mithu, he goes to the higher realms. What about your ex, I don't know, Ravi Kundalani, the guy you got married to? He goes to the higher realms. Original Ravi, who studied at Rochester. He goes to the higher realms. So all okay? Okay, good. Chalo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be closing the session for now. And I don't think I'll be back today. I'll probably be back tomorrow. So unless I get a sense that I want to know, you still insist I'm going to be traveling abroad, leaving India and leaving Bharat and going away to a country outside of this country next year? Are you talking to me or are you talking to Mama? You say Mama is going to be leaving her human form, right? And going away to the afterlife. Did you tell me that Mama is going to be leaving her human form next year, 2026, and going away to her afterlife? She's beyond recognition as of now. So you say she's going to move to the afterlife, leaving her physical form behind and moving away to the afterlife. You will be waiting for her on the opposite, on the in the afterlife for her. You are going to go to the higher realms. She gets the higher realms with you. Does she have to, in spirit, go to the lower realms when she goes into the spirit form? Does she have to visit the lower realms? So you'll be doing that together. When I leave my physical form, I also go to visit the lower realms. Will I also be doing that upon leaving the human body? Whatever is that I have to go through, I'm finishing it in the body here and now only. Mama will be going to the spirit realms and the lower realms to be witness for something over there. Does she have to play the role of the witness over there? So when it comes to my own travel, you say that I will be leaving India and traveling outside of. Are you saying somebody will be leaving from inside my body and that's why I'll be freed up? Is that what you're trying to say? Packing my bags and physically traveling from this country, which is Bharat, and going to a foreign country, either east of India in the globe or west of India on the globe, is what has to happen for me in 2026. You still think we will travel? We will physically pack our bags and move. We're going to be meeting up with your lot of miscreants who did you wrong. If there is such a thing called doing wrong, everything happens for a reason. So we're going to be meeting them. Are they going to be playing sounds under my body as they're doing as of now when I meet them over there? Am I going to be helping the ER in some way for something, some project of theirs? Whatever the confusion is about my birth, is that going to be revealed? And what is mine by birth will be handed back. Whatever games played by Rosie and Jetli, or whatever that group troop is, that's going to be uncovered. And so whatever the reasoning for it is and whatever it is, that's what will be handed back, is it? But what about all the people and the death of so many people who have died? How do we account for all of them? Will all the people who have passed on, that also without everyone knowing what exactly it is, will that database be found? Because their egos would have been stolen. Will they figure out who all have unceremoniously been sent away? Will that come to light? Will I be regrouping with delicate Nikhil Advani, the real Nikhil Advani, who should be actually a delicate, he should be a delicate frame and a delicate person. He and Vinod. I don't know, Vinod is really alive? Vinod Mirchandani from our childhood, 1975, Roly Poly. He's really alive still? Lucky boy. Both of them. Well, they used to not call him Roly Poly, they used to call him Lolly. He used to be called Lolly, right? You used to be called Lolo or Loto? Snow White. Papa used to call me Hairy Fairy. Anyway, I'm closing this now. Enough. Okay. Chalo, you have a siesta. I'm also going to have a nap now. Okay. I want to know one thing. Simal was removed from her body. She's in the afterlife. Do you meet her in the afterlife ever? She's been sent where? To the higher realms? Has she managed to go to the higher realm almost immediately? Has she found passage to the higher realm? She doesn't have to go to the lower realms? Good, very good. What about Malvika? Malvu's gone away to the higher realms? The real Malvika Likhraj. Has she gone to the higher realms? She had to go to the lower realm for some time? Will she be moving to the higher realms down the line once she's done with whatever it is with the lower realms? She'll move to the higher realms soon enough? Okay. I want to know, has Divya Bhargava left her human form? As of, let's just say today being the 2nd of April or yesterday 1st of May, has Divya Bhargava left her human form? But SRL is responsible for Malvika's exit and Simal's exit. Greed is so much, is it? Anand, his friend, when he leaves the body, will he go to the higher realms? Anand Khandelwal, will he move to the higher realms? Okay, good. Alright. So I'll put this now. I'll put this to rest. Okay. Chalo. So I'm closing this here. I'll be back tomorrow.